All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Banya. Today we've got Daniel. Hit us with your last name.
Ilae.
Ilae. Daniel Ilae in the house. It's crazy. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Daniel and I train an awful lot, but sometimes that's how it goes. Again, we have the voluptuous, sexy Dana Lundquist in the house joining us.
What's happening?
Boom! But we're pumped to have Daniel in. I'll kick it off with your intro. So Daniel's a nomad savage in the jiu-jitsu world. He's training all the time, every time. Got a crazy job down at the airport, so he works late all night sometimes, but he's coming in training at 6 a.m. Then he'll pop up again at the 7 p.m. class. You and your wife got kind of a erratic, but consistently erratic training schedule. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So where are you right now with your schedule?
I work 3 to 1:30 a.m. Wednesday through Saturday.
Southwest?
No, I work for the city.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I work for the city. So I cover the whole entire airport.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Plumbing. I'm a glorified toilet unclogger.
Look, you got to keep that place humming and running, baby. What do they say? The best airport in the United States?
Friendliest.
Friendliest, thank you.
Yeah. I get asked a lot of questions when I'm there.
Are you friendly to people?
I am actually friendly. Oh. Yeah.
You're fortunate enough to not have to encounter all the travelers too often, I imagine.
Well, I look pretty official because I have a badge hanging from my lanyard and stuff, so I like to think it's the mustache. I think it makes me look even more like official, so a lot of people come up to me and ask questions.
That a man in uniform.
Oh, yeah, the uniform too, yeah.
So let me continue. Sorry, real quick. So Daniel's blue belt, jiu-jitsu practitioner. You're 48?
I'm gonna be 55.
Oh shit! I thought you were younger. Well, there you go, dude. You're looking
He
good,
looks
man.
younger.
Yeah, he does. What do you attribute that to besides jiu-jitsu?
Good genes. My mom looks young.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you're Hawaiian, full blood, or
no? I'm a half breed. My mom's
half-breed?
white. Yeah,
Okay.
My dad's Hawaiian and my mom's white.
Okay. Do we have a name for that?
Yeah, it's called damn, I can't think of what it's called.
Because you got what do you call white boys?
Howleys.
Howleys.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Hapa. Hapa is a half breed, but it can be any half breed. Like Hawaiian Japanese, Hawaiian Chinese.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are most people half or mixed at this point?
Yep, almost everybody.
Yeah.
Being bred out of existence.
What island are you from?
Oahu. I come from Kaneohe.
Okay.
And how long, so you grew up there, how long did you spend in Hawaii, right? You were born there. When did you finally leave the island?
I left the island in 2015.
Okay.
So I spent 45 years of my life there.
Okay.
Wow.
What was the major factor to get you over here?
I had a lot of like baby mama drama and
Gotcha.
yeah, and I was heavy into the drugs and just not in a positive place, and it was just everyday life, so you don't really notice it's going on until you notice it's going on.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I was just tired of it, decided to get sober, and some of my Facebook buddies that I never met before, lived in Arizona, and the mixer industry delivering concrete was popping off. So I was like, you know what?
Yeah.
Let me move. So I figured if I didn't know anybody, it'd be easier to, stay
Start
clean.
fresh. Yeah.
So I've been sober 9 years now.
All right.
Nice.
Congrats.
Yeah.
Yeah, good change of environment. I
Yeah.
mean, I don't know who was saying this, but, people talk about getting off of, substances is they think, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to get off of it, but then they go back to the same environment, same people around, and it's just hard to kick. I can't speak from personal experience, but, that's good. You change your environment and kind of change the way, so that's amazing.
Yeah, I wanted to get off of it for like a long time, but look, like how you said about the environment, you're just stuck in something, you don't really realize it, so I had to do the adult thing, and you know what, let me just go someplace I don't know nobody, thank God, because I met like really good people, my hunting buddies, and then Jiu-Jitsu happened, and I met even, more good people. Nancy,
Yep. Yeah, man. It probably would have been a lot easier just to stay doing the same shit.
Yeah.
Stay right where you are in beautiful Hawaii, But good on you for making that move. So you move over here. You're doing concrete. You're driving truck, right? You and I both we're in the transport industry or have been and stuff. So we talk about that. Drove truck for alcohol distribution too. What threaded you into jiu-jitsu?
My son, he kept telling me, like, hey, Pops, you got to try this,
Is it big over in Oahu?
Yeah, it's huge. Any type of combat sport pretty much is big in Hawaii. I mean, Kempo, karate, Taekwondo was really huge when I was growing up. My high school even had judo, but I was like too cool to like get into it, Yeah, it's kind of crazy. We had a wrestling team. We had pretty much everything, but I would rather go to the beach or fishing, off-roading, girls, the typical high school kid.
That's an extra challenge in Hawaii, I'm sure, to stay focused on something that's not as fun as being at the beach.
Oh yeah, well, just in general, there's I think I was telling Dana this morning that we have so much talent in Hawaii, but there's no like guidance to get the kids to go in any direction. So it's easy for them to just end up with kids early, or get everyone smokes weed and just drinks at the park. You're just stuck in the same routine every day.
Yeah,
it's kind of sad, but at the same time, it's life.
Yeah.
And you say your son, so you're talking about Pono.
Yeah, Pono. Yeah.
And did he start jiu-jitsu in Hawaii as well?
He used to box, and he's my athletic one. Out of my 6 kids, he was the most athletic. And when he moved to, he trained with some good guys at this place called Hybrid. It's in Kailua in Hawaii, because he went to high school with these guys. So he already had the bug. So when he moved to Washington as a white belt, he worked his way up to what he is brown belt now. But
Nice.
Yeah, I don't know, my inspiration.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's rad. Have you guys rolled?
Oh yeah, plenty of times. Every time we see each other.
Nice.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. He's full time up in Washington right now?
Yeah.
What's he doing up there?
He's right now he's unemployed. Nah, but he builds fences, decks, and he started to get further out by trying to become a longshoreman, a fireman, a policeman. So he has a lot of things cooking right now.
Yeah.
Nothing's quite sticking.
He'll land one
of
of those. Yeah.
But he's, and it's all through the jiu-jitsu community. They're all guys that he trains with or whatever. They have some sort of connection, so they're all pointing him in the right directions. It's just, it's the gears just ain't mending yet. That's it.
Yep.
Yeah. But I know it'll happen for him because he's a go-getter.
Yeah. That's awesome, man. I'm always jealous of those guys. The line for retirement on some of those jobs is pretty nice. It's like nice. You're whatever 25 years in, get your pension, and then just start another life.
Yeah, get another job somewhere else.
Yeah. Do something you really love and still have some security. It's a good call for sure.
Yeah.
I got a lot of firemen in my family and friend network. It's a good direction. So he's how far out from a brown belt is he?
Yeah, he only has 1 stripe on his brown belt.
Okay.
And he's had his brown belt for a little over a year.
Okay.
But he told me his professor told him, once you get your black belt, like, you're a black belt, so he's kind of trying to
enjoy the moment. Yeah.
So he's kind of doing it on purpose, but at the same time,
Yeah, no, sandbagging's great. We've talked about that a bunch in here, just like enjoying this time because, like you said, man, once you hit that top level, I'm sure a lot of some of the I don't know experiences you have are going to be a lot different, and just being in the grind of it, learning that's the funnest part, right? I mean,
Yeah,
it is for
the funnest
me.
sport. Yeah, same
Yeah.
here. I like getting smashed by everybody.
Yeah.
It gives me great joy.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you're always one of the happiest people in the gym, no matter what happens.
Oh yeah, I know.
Yeah, dude. Anytime you roll into class, you know it's gonna be a better one for sure, man. Your attitude's amazing, and
Thanks.
you scrap hard too. You know, win, lose, or draw, you're having a good time.
And you never
At
get
least on
tired.
the outside.
Yeah, yeah.
You never get tired, right?
No. How many times have you asked me that?
Oh man, that was great. Yeah, no, I gotta say this real quick. You know, when Daniel started, you know, he was a lot more overweight than he is now.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah,
he's
definitely.
in amazing shape now and could barely, you know, not flexible at all. Like tight hips. You know, anytime drilling, even knee slice wasn't going to be a thing. But that's not the case anymore. And now, for a while, you know, he would. He'd be looking real tired, and I'd look at him and I'd say, "Hey, you tired?" And I think maybe the first time, you're like, didn't really give me an answer. And I asked him again. He goes, "Nope, I'm not tired." So then every time I'd see him, he looks like he's, you know, sucking wind. Like, "Hey, Danny, you tired?" Nope, no way,
Nope.
no way.
I don't think I ever saw you out of shape though, dude. Since I've known you, right?
Yeah, you caught me like a little later.
Yeah.
Yeah, I dropped like 50 pounds maybe.
Okay.
Yeah,
I was in not very good shape.
Yeah. I mean,
that was quite the transformation. Absolutely.
eating right and scrapping every day.
Yeah.
Well, let's get back to that because, like I said, dude, I hear tales of you. I go, oh yeah, Daniel's at the 6. He was at the 7 too last night. So what's how you feeling? Like, how many days a week are you going in? What's that schedule look like?
You know, like Keeley has tutoring on Tuesdays, so because I can't go to Tuesday morning sometimes, I'll train Monday morning and catch the 2 classes in the evening. And I'll try to catch one on Tuesday in the evening, or if I can in the morning, and then Wednesday morning, and I rest on Thursday, and I go to open mat on Friday, and Saturday and Sunday open mat.
Nice, dang, dude, that's a schedule.
Yeah.
And you're going to open mat on ours at Aries PV on Friday night, but then Saturday you'll sometimes come to ours, or you go to some other gyms. Like,
Yeah, I go to other gyms. I try to mix it up. I go to Exodus. I go to M1. We go to Proving Ground. You know, sometimes we go to Paul's. We try to make our rounds.
Yeah, nice.
But my theory is like, you know, we're all leveling up together. So I'm just excited to see, you know, 10 years from now, all the people who stuck with it, like we'll all have the same stories that we see the black belts telling.
Yeah.
Right? On promotion day, you hear their stories. Like, to me, it's super cool. So
Yeah,
all I can think is like, one day there's gonna be a group of us telling stories.
Absolutely, absolutely.
that'll be an interesting day for sure.
Yeah.
But that's why I always tell Nancy, let's go here, let's mix it up, meet people. You know, she's pretty friendly too. Like she's pretty famous out there actually.
Dude, everybody knows Nancy.
Yeah, we don't stop talking about her, so it doesn't help. Yeah.
How tall, or excuse me, how short is Nancy?
I think her license may say 5'1".
She was wearing some platform shoes that day.
Possibly. But she's the taller one in her family. I'll
Yeah.
say that.
I think that's why people love her. Is like she's just like the meanest little lady you'll ever on the mat.
Yeah.
She's a beautiful human being off the mat, but yeah, on the mat, woo, watch out. You know, I mean, she just ruined Dana's ribs.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
Oh man, when I roll with her and she's being mean, like my jaw hurts for days because of her elbow. And, yeah.
Yeah,
She's
she-
a force.
She won't hesitate to drop the shoulder or the elbow into your chin.
Nope.
Just go for that cross collar even in your close guard.
You know, and Vinny calls her the Webo Smasher for a reason because she's gonna catch you at least one time in a row.
Yep.
It's all with love we talk about this.
Oh, yeah,
you
for
know,
sure.
She's amazing, as everybody who's listened to even one of the podcasts knows.
She's definitely better than I deserve.
Yeah, she's great, man. But all right, well, so what's going on with your jiu-jitsu game? What are you most excited about right now? Working on and
Well-
trying to improve on?
You know, I've played the bottom for so long, and I think my defense is pretty decent. That I need to focus more on attacks and changing up submissions. So that's my goal for this year. That and compete this year, man. 1 gold.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
I set the bar. So that's
Have you done a tournament before?
yeah, I
Okay.
did as a weight belt. I did 4 tournaments.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you've done a bunch then.
I'm 1 and actually 5. I did. I'm 1 and 4.
So you got 1 gold.
Yes,
and the
I
rest
have
of them.
1 gold.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay. Nice. Yeah, and you're I guess what, master probably 5.
Yeah.
There's probably not too many in your bracket typically. So
It's the same people. I always see the same guys.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you're blue belt now, so hopefully somebody new.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, maybe some of the guys level up at the same time, but it'd be nice to see somebody new.
I'd like to have each one of those guys back, though. I'd like to run into them.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially got some revenge to get on some of them, I'm
Yeah.
sure. You know?
I think I'm a little more calm if I get on the bottom. I can sweep now, look better.
Oh, yeah.
I understand when they're using all their strength on where to be. It's just little things from getting smashed by you guys that kind of,
Just dialing it in.
dialing
Yeah.
it in.
Heck yeah. Well, so what are you doing? So a big part of our podcast, what we appreciate and love about people are people that are on their journey to self-improving, whether it be in jiu-jitsu or through jiu-jitsu or just in general. What are you doing health-wise beyond jiu-jitsu to, keep improving your physical and mental abilities?
Well, creatine, I started taking creatine.
Okay.
We cut out soda, and I have a sweet tooth, so I can't cut all sweets out. I try though, but I really did take it down a notch. But we don't drink soda in the house. We don't really drink juice. I just drink a lot of water. My beer, I don't drink too much alcohol, so I try to put in as much vegetables and clean as possible.
Yeah.
Greek yogurt and
Kimchi.
kimchi. We eat tons of kimchi at home.
Oh, sorry, I never sent that to you.
Yeah, thanks, Luke. No, I did get some recently, but kimchi. I was just watching a video the other day. It's like for weight loss, eating kimchi and is really great because it does kind of help reset your gut biome.
Oh, yeah.
Just because of all the different bacteria in there or probiotics, I guess. It's amazing for your health. It really is.
Yeah, I grew up on kimchi, so it's really nothing new to me. I didn't realize the
health benefits.
But I love that stuff. I'll open a can of tuna and some rice with kimchi. I'll eat it just like that.
Dude,
you know?
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
It's crazy. It's good on eggs. It's good
yeah.
on meat, fish, whatever. It's super versatile.
That's actually been my thing right now. Is I went and got the carton of egg whites, and I'll make a egg white omelet with just kimchi.
Oh, what do you got against yolks, though, man? There's a lot of good stuff in there.
Yeah, I know. I don't know. It just seems really convenient. You just pour,
Yeah. No, I hear you there, yeah.
Yeah, I've been doing lately cottage cheese, and I'll either like dice up some beef or ground beef, and then some avocado and kimchi.
Oh, that
It's
sounds
amazing.
good, too.
Super high proteins and fats, and I feel great afterwards. Like it's good energy.
I'm gonna have to look into that.
I was not a big fan of cottage cheese, but I'll shout out to RB who got me to start eating it, and it's amazing now.
Yeah, because I'm not into it either, so it kind of looks gross, but
I thought the same thing, and that the texture, I was like, I'm not doing it. But when I mix it with either with eggs or beef and avocado, I'll put some tahini or other hot sauce on it. It's delicious.
I'll have to give that a try.
Me too. I kind of have ignored that for most of my life, too.
It kind of looks gross, that's why.
Uh-huh. And
it's flavorless to me, so I was like,
I'd substitute it like for sour cream. Like if I'm making a burrito,
Okay.
put cottage cheese. You still get that creamy flavor, but you're not getting all the the extra.
Is there a certain
stuff,
cottage
I
cheese
guess.
that you look for?
Yeah, actually, there's one. It's called Good Culture.
Good culture?
And for some reason, I just do the whole fat one. There's like a non-fat or not a non-fat, but like a low fat version, and it just tears my gut up. So I do the whole fat one. It's great, and it actually tastes really good. It's super clean. I mean, any cottage cheese is better than none, I guess. But yeah, Good Culture that I get and probably pay way too much for over at Sprouts, but it's health. So yeah,
it sucks that it makes sense in a way that not everything's created equal, but like even the different type of cottage cheese is like better or worse for you. You know, you have to like, as a consumer, especially in the United States, we have to watch out for like, you can't just go like, oh, I'm eating healthy, I'm buying this.
Yeah.
It's like you have to buy a specific kind of that doesn't also contain all this other bullshit in it, you know? I hate that about our landscape of food here. You know?
I could be wrong, but I think that one of the things that they get the milk for the good culture from cows that aren't treated for what RBST, like the hormones. So that was part of the reason. I mean, just because of the taste of it as well. But yeah, you make a good point. I mean, it's still better if you're eating whole foods. You know, just get ground beef, no matter what ground beef it is. But then, you know, as you start looking at improving that, getting higher quality, grass-fed, and things like that just help improve health. And
well, let's throw that out there for everybody because it's also like such a good value too. So like if you're able to do this with some buddies, Dana and I just went on a whole cow from Arizona grass-fed. They're up in Camp Verde. They're the only rancher in the Western United States that owns their own USDA processing facility. So it's all grass-fed, super clean stuff, processed in-house. And it comes down to like $12 a pound. And that includes, obviously, a lot of ground beef, but a ton of like ribeye, New York strip, you know, skirt steak, the roasts. So you get all these great cuts. And like if you compare that even against like the cheapest ribeye you can find in like fries, it's $5 cheaper. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, you got to just have the freezer space and go in with enough people, and the quality is you can't beat, you know, in Arizona, and then also it's cheaper, you know, so like that there's like shortcuts out there to eating healthier too.
yeah,
It's just harder to pull off sometimes, but
Yeah, 'cause I like meat.
so I'll throw this out there to all of our jiu-jitsu community and anybody. I got at my work, I've got a large 5,000 square foot freezer. So
nice.
if anybody needs to, you know, gets an elk or whatever, needs the space, you're welcome to that for no charge.
yeah, absolutely. That's great. Well, thank you for that.
Yeah, thanks.
You know, as part of the community.
For sure.
Well, on that note, I guess one thing I wanted to bring up, just like sharing information and some of the, you know, the things we're doing with this podcast. So we want to help share, you know, what we know and, you know, as little as it may be. But I had somebody from the 6 a.m. class, actually, Dean, he was asking, after the podcast with Steve, Sandbag Steve, who's super fit and builds like programs for working out and everything. He was asking me about if, you know, Steve would build a program for him. And, you know, I said, absolutely. And I'm sure Steve would completely echo this. So the point being with this is that if you hear something from, you know, the podcast, you're welcome to reach out to Luke or I, or even the guests. I'm sure anybody would be happy to support just because of the community of, you know, jiu-jitsu and what we're building here. That's the whole idea. It's not, yeah, we're having a lot of fun with this. But
This
the
is
idea
this is really cool because I listen to you guys like every one, and yeah, you guys just dropped Alex's one, but I didn't get to listen to that one yet. But
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, that was
this is super positive. You know, and learning about people too is pretty wild. You know.
Yeah, that's a big part of it. You know, we don't always get to interact with each other, you know, too deeply. So this is a good little way to get to know each other a little bit better
sure.
and, you know, pass some time. And
Yeah,
maybe.
and you go to so many classes that probably everybody knows Daniel and Nancy.
Yeah.
But it's nice when some of those guys, like we had Drew on last week, that only goes to the 6 a.m.s. Some of the people at nighttime get to know him, and everybody in the gym. You know, we want our teammates to know each other and just to continue building that community.
Yeah. You ever get to the 10 a.m.s, Daniel?
I do.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you really do know everybody. Then.
Yeah. But there's some new people in the 10 a.m.s I don't know.
Yeah.
But like I know kind of the earlier guys.
Yeah.
Because I see a couple of new faces like on Tiny Shorts' like videos and stuff that I don't know.
Yeah.
But I've been meaning to hit like maybe on Thursday or whatever on my day off. That's usually my rest day, but maybe I'll go in just to
say what up, get some new people. Yeah, I love how big the 6 a.m.s are getting. They're starting to like they're consistent now. I mean, they're never going to be probably as giant as the the evening classes, but it's been cool to like get that. I mean, there was a period when it was like 4 or 5 people for a long time, and now I mean it's double digits every class since I don't know, before Christmas even, so that's been rad.
Yeah, it's rare if we have less than 7 or 8 people at least, and I'm just getting back into 6 a.m., so I'm committing to continuing that.
Boom.
I'm glad.
So that's good.
That 6 a.m. is a fun class.
Yeah.
You're gonna get some good rolls in.
Yeah, absolutely.
And because there's time for it,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's nice that I know he does the hour and a half starting at 5:30 a.m. So there's always time for rolls. But even Mateus he'll stop, like 6:45 ish, so we can get at least 3 rolls, and he's always open to hanging out a little bit longer if anybody wants to roll more. So it's great. You get plenty of rolls in, get good training. The drilling's awesome, and the stretching and warm up is tailored to morning.
Definitely.
When you haven't been moving at all, so
Yeah.
it's nice. We've talked about that a little bit with Mateus's warm ups and the active stretching that's really helpful.
Dude, I'm falling in love with that stuff.
Me too.
It's a great way to warm up. I love it. It's difficult for me, and probably same as you, Daniel. We're not the most flexible human beings, so it gets my core warm just going for those deep stretches, and obviously it's pretty dynamic stretching.
I didn't know about stretching, so I find myself doing it at home now, the stuff that I learned over there, right? So, every once in a while, I'll just like sit down and start leaning towards a knee, or, start rotating my hips in a circle, like just random spots in the house, So thank you, Mateus.
Yeah, I'd heard that before, like micro movements. It was in the context of like people who are like naturally skinnier. If you watch them versus somebody that's heavier, maybe obese, and you just sit them side by side, like they move a lot, like literally just little movements, like just shaking your leg, or twitching a little more. Like there's been studies where people that just kind of are always moving, it just snowballs, I think. And like the more stagnant you get, the harder it is for you to, you're just not like moving throughout the day, and imagine how much that stuff compounds,
Yeah, I guess, sitting behind a truck, on a seat for
get
8,
twitchy,
10 hours.
dude.
Yeah. So I'm glad I kind of switched jobs, I'm walking all night, bending over, getting on my knees.
Yeah, sitting on your ass has got to be one of the worst things for you, for sure.
Physically, for sure.
Well, you said something a minute ago about that I think about, and actually I remember it was probably 6 months into Jiu-Jitsu when Kabe was talking about is if you're sitting at home and you're going to be watching TV, okay, that's cool, but like sit on the ground.
Yeah.
Do some little stretching while you're watching TV, and just sitting on the ground and having to stand up from there is just that little bit of extra motion versus sitting on a comfy couch. You're sitting upright on little things that actually can change quite a bit. And that, I guess, last piece of that is just posture. Sitting up tall with your shoulders back. It seems like a minor thing, but it actually impacts your health, impacts your confidence. It's pretty crazy that there's psychological studies that have shown that.
Makes sense. Probably your back and spine, which anybody who's ever had a back injury knows, like that's literally the worst thing you can have, because your entire day's miserable.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen I think it's on Netflix, Blue Zone, that documentary?
No.
I've heard of it. I haven't watched it,
It's
though.
super interesting. So they pinpoint specific cities in like a bunch of different countries that the average population lives to, basically 100. And there's no one thing that well, there is a lot of it's diet stuff, but like they're not eating the same thing. It's like centered around kind of a lot of the whole food stuff, but like specifically like the one that stood out for me was the Okinawa episode, because of that they don't really have furniture there.
Right.
So they measured how many times a day a person has to squat all the way to the ground to sit. So like when like they were in this one guy's shop, he was building, like doing some wood crafting, and he's getting up, he's sitting down, it's like 200 times a day or what, I forget the number. Dang. But they're just constantly squatting basically, And for them and that, it's like that was a huge part of their, and some of it's obvious, a big part of it's diet, but that was a big thing that they were pinpointing for that episode was just the fact that they're constantly sitting on the floor, and just that motion physically keeps you stronger. And as you age, right, that's one of the things that gets a lot of older people is just like stagnation. Once you stop moving, it's lights out for most people.
Well, on that note, something else I was seeing recently, which is why those of you who are watching can see me now squatting here on the bench. It was like a physical therapist. Somebody was talking about how this position, just kind of squatting down, it's in history, it's a normal rest position for people. Like you'll see like Aboriginal tribes and like people that, live basically like off the grid, that when they're resting, they're eating or, shitting. This is the normal position for that. And it's good for your hips. It opens your hips up. Good for your knees. But the idea, like, if you can't do something like this, I'm not, shaming anything, but try and work on it. It's actually great for your posture, great for walking around. You'll just feel more loose.
Gotta strengthen your legs for sure.
Definitely.
Probably your knees too. That's kind of what scares me about it.
Yeah, me too. But I'm getting deeper though. I can't get deep like that, but I always try to get a little deeper.
Yeah, we do these in Mateus's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I struggle with these, but I do love the feeling of it.
I have one flexible knee and one not flexible knee.
Yeah. Well, I had knee surgery 7 years ago now. I had a torn ACL, so my right knee, like, I couldn't flex it all the way, like completely down. Especially when I started jiu-jitsu, like I was really worried about, hurting my knee again because I couldn't bend it all the way down. And a lot of times, when you're sitting basically on your feet, trying to sit all the way back, like when you're in somebody else's guard, you kind of have to. And that's definitely changed for me. And even a year and a half in, I still couldn't completely flex it all the way down without a little bit of pain, at least initially. I think I've talked about this a little bit before, but I started doing just really deep air squats in the morning, just 30 of those, just to get the knee flexed a lot there. And it's changed quite a bit what I can do. So again,
any little bit of like, pointers, because my knee is like way more. It's 100% better than what it was. You know what I mean? But
still got some.
Yeah.
Well, the knee over toe stuff, that slant board.
Yeah.
Yeah, start hitting that. There's one right off the mat, dude. Start just knocking away at it.
Especially on those days that Dean gets in super early because he's always opening the gym.
I know, we miss you, Dean.
Vinny.
Come on,
bud.
bud.
He was there Monday.
Nice.
Monday.
He's
yeah, and he's healthy. Yeah,
okay, cool.
He's still maybe not 100%, but I know he goes at least Mondays, and I think he was talking about one to continue to do Fridays and maybe Wednesdays. We might see him tomorrow morning.
Good. Hell yeah.
Which is great.
All right, well, Luke's got to take a cold plunge, per usual. Here I go. First man out.
How you feeling, Daniel?
Pretty good.
Can you read that? What does that say?
Is it this one?
Yeah, the red. Yep. I think it's about 190. Is that right? I think it's.
Yeah. This is 200, huh?
210.
210. Yeah. So that would be 200. Yeah, a little over 190.
Yeah. We got it hot for you.
Nice.
Feels good, right?
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Feels like summer outside.
Yeah, right?
This isn't too bad. I thought the heat would be like worse,
Yeah, if we were sitting here in silence, you probably would have wanted to get out 10 minutes ago. But when we're talking, you're not thinking about it.
You know the law?
Normal breathing. And it definitely helps stay in here longer. I mean, we've probably been in here at least 30 minutes, I'd say.
Nice.
So it's good. You probably sleep like a baby tonight, too, with all the heat. It's great.
Thank you. Yeah, I was a little nervous. I know my voice was probably a little shaky in the beginning, trying to figure it out.
No nerves now.
I'm better now. Yeah.
No room for it here. Well,
how cold do you think the water is?
It's probably in the 50s.
Yeah. Is that like normal
55.
ice plunge stuff?
It's just straight up. So, yeah, no, I don't ice it at all.
But, I mean, ice plunge, you can set them to whatever. I don't know what the levels of benefit of temperature versus time. There is something. but I have mine set at 45, and I'll do usually 3 to 5 minutes. I'll look this up and I'll share this when we do our educational episode with the sauna and cold plunge. But I know that the number that sticks in my head is 11 minutes per week is where you see the benefits, where it kind of starts to taper off after that from the cold plunge. So
because I'm not a huge fan of cold, period. But
well, even better because it's.
But I want to like try it to see what it's like to jump in there.
Yeah.
It feels so good.
Well, in the cold, there's the benefits of the temperature because your body is like in fight or flight, like this is crazy, get me out of here. But the probably the bigger benefit, or I'm not sure if it's bigger. Again, I'll educate with actual data, but is doing something you don't want to do.
Oh, right.
Like even in the mornings when I'm looking at that cold plunge, I'll sit there sometimes for 2 or 3 minutes. Like I don't want to do this, but doing that, going through what you don't want to do, and I actually just posted on the story the other day. There's a part of your brain that it's completely escaping me now that Andrew Huberman talks about in detail in one of his podcasts about that part of your brain grows when you do things you don't want to do hard things you don't want to do.
Yeah, I heard that one as well.
Yeah, so they've seen clear evidence that like professional athletes and anybody who's doing really difficult things that they just don't want to do, they see that in their brain grow. There's other effects. I'm not going to try and say those now because I can't remember it, and I don't want to get it wrong. But that is 100% true that the part of your brain will grow when you do things you don't want to do, and hard things you push through it. And that doesn't have to be physically hard things. It's anything you don't want to do, and you say, I'm going to do this anyways.
Probably a lot of that's just learning, right? Like,
yeah.
I mean, I think probably everybody's inner bitch would just be to do the same things that they always do, right? It's hard. It's hard, yeah.
Change is always difficult.
Yeah, just the easier path, right? So learning is a mental stretch for people, and that probably pushes you in that direction.
Well, I've always had a little philosophy on fences. A lot of people put fences up when you have the whole world past it. Mm-hmm. Guys who always say oh, I can't, or I don't like that, or I won't. To me, just put up a fence and it's so close to you, when you have so much more,
right.
Stop with the can'ts or don'ts, just try. You know?
Well, it can't just means I won't do the work to do that. And it's really maybe I can't right now. Okay, that's a little better caveat if you add that to it. But at the end of the day, when you say I can't do that, it's I won't put in the work to do it. And maybe at the moment that is, but it's not to bash anybody, but just to have a mindset of maybe I can't right now.
Yeah. Did you listen to the Brian Callen Rogan episode?
I haven't. Not the most recent one.
So they go deep into some health benefits of saunas though, and the highlights is that Finnish study that he quotes a lot, and it's people that sauna 3 times a week for 20 minutes at above I forget the temperature, I think it was 180 or something like that, they see a 40% drop in all-cause mortality.
Oh yeah,
so that's the headlines on that one. But then one thing that was interesting though, and I don't do this, but the timing of when you sauna, so you're supposed to do it after your workout. So that's when the heat shock proteins really kick in, and your heart rate, you're still getting because he was talking about this with Dan Gable was talking about their program with the wrestlers. They do it after the workout because you're basically getting a cardio workout for free, because your heart rate's up.
I can feel my heart pumping, for sure.
Yeah, so it's you're not physically exerting yourself, but you're still getting a lot of the cardiovascular benefits.
The circulatory system is putting in work.
Yeah,
that's good.
And so vice versa, you're not supposed to cold plunge after because that takes down your inflammation, and you want inflammation that repairs your muscles. So you're supposed to cold plunge before your workouts, and then a sauna ideally after.
Yeah.
Not that anybody has the time to pull that off too often, but sounds good, right?
Yeah. Well, I don't know what football game I was watching, but Henry, the running back, said he spends $250,000 a year on his regimen to stay healthy.
Yeah.
Food, exercise. that's probably why he's a beast, you know.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
if you got the money, you know.
Even
Yeah.
if you don't, like, doing what you can, like, and again, I'm repeating myself for Dana here, but, like, you know, the argument of, like, cost of foods, and, like, it does suck, I agree, but, like, what's more important than your health, right?
No.
So, like, you know, like, for me personally, like, building this was really important for me, you know? It was a lot of money for me, and my wife wasn't super pumped, believe it or not. But you know, it's like,
Does she ever come in here? Does she use it?
she's only been in like twice, and it's like if you're gonna spend your money on anything, it should be, you know, for your
Beneficial.
health, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, your mind or your body, in my opinion.
And you know, it's crazy that you say that, is that because I'm older now, I can see the end of the road. You know what I mean? It's way closer now than it was 20 years ago. So that's probably one of the reasons why I started taking more care of my health too.
Yeah.
You know, and like the jiu-jitsu helped a lot, but the dieting, you know, drinking the right nutrients, water.
Well, it certainly looks further away now than it was 2.5 years ago when
Thank
you
you.
started. So keep it
Amen,
up.
dude.
Keep it up. Longevity is the name of the game once
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, and quality too, right? Like when you want to go through life, you know, not being able to enjoy it because you're, you know,
Absolutely.
having a hard time physically doing stuff. Like that doesn't sound like any fun either, you know. So even if it's selfishly just for that reason, it's in my book important. You know, I want to be able to do fun things. You know,
Yeah.
not be handicapped in my own body.
Yeah. What do you want your last 10 years to look like? You know, you can rest now, and then you're going to be resting a whole lot later. Or keep moving and keep the body moving. The body in motion stays in motion.
I've always been the gamest bird on the farm, so I ain't stopping.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll keep going till I literally can't go.
Yeah.
And even then, I'll, you know, Lieutenant Dan my way across someplace.
There we go.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the next 10 years should be fun. I always laugh about, you know, I got 10 good ones left in me. I think I have more than that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, you do, especially on this pace, dude.
Yeah.
Looking good. Cut out the bad food, stick with the jiu-jitsu. That's the other good thing about it too, right? It forces us to eat well. Like you can't eat like a slob and then have fun doing jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, because I've tried it. I've actually
I've made the
slacked off
mistakes
for a little bit, and like just trying to do sidewinders down the mat after eating like shit for 3 days. You know, it's like, oh,
yeah, it's the worst.
yeah. Versus, you know, having good meals, and just everything just feels better as you're moving.
For sure.
It's not all good though. I miss, like, I legitimately, like, I don't enjoy eating bad foods anymore, which is good, but I also like miss enjoying being a piece of shit. You know what I mean? Like,
do.
I just, that part of me is just gone. It's like, and I used to look at my parents and like they were great examples. Like they hate soda, they hate sweets actually, like for the most part. And I was always like, oh, that doesn't look like fun. But like now I'm like, I get it. Like I just like that stuff just nukes my body anymore. I feel so bad when I start eating like an idiot. It's just not worth it.
Yeah.
Just crossed over into that old man
Heck
territory. Good place to be though.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like I said earlier, like as soon as I get my new choppers, I'll be eating like good meats and
Yeah, man,
Yeah.
you just had a pretty intense surgery just yesterday.
yeah, you know, due to the excess partying, you know, kind of
Paying the piper.
ruined my teeth a little bit. Well, I lost the top half in an accident, so yeah, I got hit in the face with this metal thing, like fucked my eye up and knocked all my teeth out. And then once that happened, you get hooked on the drugs and whatever.
Yeah.
So what's the problem drug out there? Meth? What are we working
Oh
with?
man, I was into the oxys and stuff
Oh,
like that. You know?
okay.
And I was like deep, you know.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That chill drug vibe culture.
But it was crazy because I started dealing one drug to support that drug, you know.
Yep.
So that's why I said like earlier, I was like wrapped up in it. I had to get away from everything because my partner, I was already here for probably like 3 or 4 years, and she called me and said that she did go down, You know, she was going to be in Ilae, I guess. That's where the prison is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I was like, well, good
that
luck to you.
sucks. They
Yeah.
send Hawaiians to prison in Ilae.
It's cheaper to send them to a private prison than a prison in Hawaii. So they send everybody, all long-termers, all go someplace else. Yeah. It's usually Arizona.
I'd be terrified to be in Arizona.
I mean, I'd be terrified to be in any prison, frankly, but
Specifically those, though. I think I would have enjoyed Alcatraz, to be honest. Dude, that view. Have you ever been to Alcatraz?
Yeah.
Oh, it's super cool building, too. You could lock me up over there.
I mean, the cell is half of the
You
size.
can hear the
maybe.
ocean, you
Yeah,
hear the
that's
waves,
true.
the
Smell the
seagulls.
ocean.
Yeah. You know, probably
Yeah.
not too bad as far as prisons go.
well, I'm thankful that you got out with minimal damage. And I say minimal because, you know, you didn't end up in prison.
Yeah, for sure.
Didn't, you know, do something that's completely regrettable. I have a friend of mine who was close friends with, and he was in a car accident and got hooked on oxys. And I don't know the whole story, but to support that ended up like robbing stores.
Oh, yeah.
And got popped for it. And the reason I bring that up is just because I'll keep tabs every so often on what's going on with him. And he is supposed to be getting released in about a month and a half, and which I'm glad, and I'm hoping he's rehabilitated, and you know, I want to at least reach out to him and just to talk to him. I don't know what he's like now. Obviously, you're a changed person, but it can take a hold of you, and it's somebody I would have never expected that to happen to. That to hear when it happened, I was just completely blown away, just because of what that does to you and the epidemic that's happened to people.
And I was pretty blessed because I drove a truck the whole time I was high. You know, and I didn't kill nobody. I didn't wreck nothing.
Yeah.
I was pretty blessed. So I guess that was one of the other reasons why I got out too. Was you know, don't push your luck. You know,
Yeah.
all good things come to an end. So
And hopefully all bad things come to an end.
Yeah.
oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, I meant that good thing as a negative.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
You know, I was pushing my luck, which was the good thing, that I
Yeah.
didn't get in trouble. But all it takes is one. You know, when you drive a truck, if somebody hits you from behind, they UAU,
Yep.
right, to alleviate any type of responsibility. So
Yep.
somebody could have hit me from behind at the stoplight, I'd get drug tested and
Yep.
fired. So
Yep.
I was just fortunate that nothing ever happened, you know.
For sure. Well, Luke's taking his second cold dip.
Sure you don't wanna
We've
get into
outlasted
Nancy?
him twice now. What do you say we do a cold dip and then come back in and wrap things up?
Okay.
I told you. All right, Daniel, throw some water on those rocks.
All right, I heard about this.
Oh, yeah.
All right, ready?
Doesn't even feel hot in here anymore.
Well, Dana holds his breath under the water for a minute, so your core temp's probably
Yep. There we go.
well
Oh,
below.
yeah, I feel that.
Yep.
Oh.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
So do you miss living in Hawaii?
Okay, yes and no. I miss the colors. I miss the ocean. I do not miss the traffic, the mentality. It was such an awesome experience growing up in a place like that. Mm-hmm. But when I went to visit, either I changed or the world changed over there, but I did not enjoy what I saw. Twice I went back, and both times I was like, man, I can hardly wait to get back to Arizona.
Yeah.
And I need to take Nancy and Keely because they've never,
Experience.
and I want to just show Keely especially because the next time he sees that, it might be like when my mom dies or when they take my body back over there, So I need to show him the spots I grew up and stuff, the experiences I had to the beach and whatever.
It's just so beautiful.
What you say mentality? Explain that a little bit. What's that like?
The average local boy over there, surf shorts, no shirt, that stupid haircut, gold chain and a fanny pack, and everybody wants to be a tough guy. It's not. I don't know. Maybe it just seems so old-fashioned. It's something they never grew out of high school. Let's say, so it's kind of like a high school mentality, but as an adult still.
Sure.
Gotcha.
Yeah, you can't go anywhere without somebody eyeing you up and wanting to fight or but They do love though.
Warriors,
you
you know?
Warrior spirit.
Yeah, but they do love though. That's the thing. They got big hearts, but also they have a bad side to them too.
Yeah.
And I was guilty of it. That's why I said when I went back, I changed. So when I saw it, I was like, man, I used to be like that, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. My perspective changed a lot moving to, America.
The main
America.
Yeah. Well, it's a continent. That's why.
You're right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, no, it makes sense, man. But yeah, that's always been my favorite place to visit. I mean, never had the experience of living there, obviously, but it's just I don't know.
You've been to where?
Fucking amazing. I've been to Maui
Yeah.
several times, and Hawaii.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Both good spots. Oh, I've
Yeah.
never been to Maui. I've seen it. I've got really close, but I never actually stepped on it.
Yeah.
The only island I've never been to.
No kidding.
Yeah.
You say I know that you hunt here in Arizona. Did you hunt before you left Hawaii as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
Some
Some of
feral
those-
pigs are a huge thing over there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that, and there's like wild goats,
Did you ever get to hunt those elusive
axis
deer?
The axis deer.
Yeah.
I never got to go, but I had a lot of friends that did.
Are those on one specific island?
Yeah,
or?
they're on Molokai, Lanai, and Maui. They have a lot of axis deer. Oahu didn't have it.
Yeah.
We had goats and pigs. And chickens. There's chickens everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's funny to think that there's nothing native to Hawaii, right? I don't know who I was talking to about this the other day, but everything was brought there by somebody.
Somebody.
Every
Even the
plant-
first settlers.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The
It's pretty
Hawaiians
crazy.
themselves brought whatever they traveled with.
Uh-huh.
And a little history, but to think that you had some canoes that came from maybe Samoa, right? They traveled north. They found the Hawaiian Islands. Whatever they had with them was maybe a couple of pigs, some chickens.
Yeah.
Right? They knew how to fish.
Right.
So that's how they survived until they got their farming all settled. And, so
Uh-huh.
dog was another one that they,
Yeah.
that was another, because, they breed, so there's a lot of food source there.
Uh-huh.
Is there a Hawaiian dog?
They're-
A breed that's kind of...
Maybe not anymore, but
Yeah.
pretty much, if I'm not mistaken, even the pigs came from Asia. So they traveled, all the way to Philippines and stuff, and traveled back to the islands. So,
Yeah.
so everything came from somewhere else.
Yeah.
Have you seen that? It's a documentary, South Pacific.
I did
That's
not.
my favorite. I bought it. It's beautiful. You should check it out. It's pretty cool. It goes into a lot of that history, but then also just goes through all the flora and fauna and how where stuff came from. Just like hurricanes, literally spitting shit onto the islands.
Birds bringing over seed and whatever.
Like picking up animals and throwing them on the islands. They survive it somehow, and
Somehow.
boom, there they
It's
are.
pretty wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty
The most
crazy.
isolated place in the world.
Yep.
Yeah.
And people made it there and never left.
Yeah.
Don't blame them.
Well, and there's a lot of different environments there. I mean, isn't there snowboarding on one of the mountains?
I don't know if you can snowboard up there, but
There's
there's
snow.
snow.
Yeah.
Up on Mauna Kea.
Like it's not year round, or is it?
It's
It
pretty
is-
much.
Yeah, I was gonna say
it's
because
high.
the
That's
climate's
why.
the climate's
Plus it's
doesn't
humid.
change
You know what I
much.
mean? So
Right.
they always have moisture. So if
Right.
it gets cold enough, that moisture turns to
Yeah.
snow.
Mm-hmm.
But that's a whole nother situation there because they're trying to build telescopes up there.
Oh yeah.
So there's been a lot of protesting over since the 70s about getting them down, and
Uh-huh.
yeah, it's always something over there. If it's not the military, it's big construction. And
Yeah.
Monsanto, that's the worst.
Yeah.
Don't get me started.
Oh, bro.
Well,
Those fuckers.
hopefully with the dream team of your girl Tulsi Gabbard.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
And RFK
yeah.
bringing, hopefully to make some of
Hopefully.
those changes. I know RFK is not a friend of Monsanto at all. So we'll see what happens. It was a big week.
It was a big week. I'm kind of looking forward to some of the new things that are being said.
Mm-hmm.
Like the no taxing of overtime and stuff like that. I'm a huge fan of that.
Sure. Yeah.
help everybody for sure.
Yeah, but you know, they always got to give to get. So if they do that, they might catch you on the end. You know, change the tax bracket.
Sure.
They're not going to just give you money. They may give you money now, but
yeah,
you might have to pay it later.
Yeah. Well, it's a good reminder for everybody who is a fan of the new administration, just to keep your ears up, because you know they're not always doing everything that's best for people. And just don't take a blind eye to some of the shitty things that may do. So
For sure.
Well, you've already talked about your competition, so your goal this year is to get 1 gold.
Get 1 gold.
All right.
And if my first tournament if I get a gold on my first tournament, I'm still gonna compete. I said I would do 5.
Yeah.
So
Oh dang,
5's a lot.
yeah, that's my goal.
Yeah.
And I just had this.
Do you have
done.
one already picked out?
I think I'm gonna do World League. I wanted to
Yeah.
do the one on the 8th, but because of my mouth right now, I'm gonna just kind of rest the body and stuff.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
But I'm pretty sure I'll be ready for March.
Nice.
Yeah. March
Heck
2nd,
yeah.
World
Yeah.
League. And there's a ton of tournaments, so there's plenty of opportunity.
Yeah, so it should be pretty exciting. I'm excited for her. She's going this one, and
Is this her first blue belt competition?
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Heck yeah.
Heck yeah.
yes. So
Hey,
that
you
should
could
be
you could
exciting.
come with us to Master Worlds in Vegas in August or September.
Well, someone needs to walk me through the signing up for the IBJJF stuff.
It's a bit of a process for
'cause
sure.
I'm not
Yeah.
a member of that. I
Yeah.
took all of last year off, so I didn't do nothing.
It's a little pricey. And it's not too difficult, but it's kind of a pain in the butt. And signing up, you got to get your IBJJF card, and it's good for a year. So from that day, for whenever it gets locked in for a year, and then that goes to approval with I believe it's still Paul Nava has to approve that for
okay.
Aries as a whole. But I mean, and I mean, I think he sees that. But if not, you can just ask Kabe, hey, I signed up for this.
just
Can you
ping
shoot a
him,
message over to
let him
Paul?
know.
And we'll take care of it. It's not too hard, but yeah, I mean, you're gonna drop, like 200, 250 for the card and whatever tournament you
Right,
choose.
right.
So yeah,
I just
it
want
is what it
to
is.
go for the experience, you know. Like,
Yeah,
it's pretty much everybody who thinks they're the best is going to be there.
Yeah,
Or guys like me who just want to experience it. But hopefully it's the latter, so I'll have a good time.
well, and it's a good time regardless. We had
Right.
fun with jiu-jitsu, and then afterwards with all the teammates who went out there and put themselves on the line, like you
I know,
get to
you
go
guys
have
are
some
awesome,
fun.
man. You guys are awesome.
You get to have some fun. It's good, and we're in Vegas.
Like
then.
Kristen, she's a brawler. She's always in those things.
Yep. Yeah.
savage for sure.
Well, cool. I don't know. I don't have anything else. Anything else? Any parting words you want to leave us with?
Show up.
Keep showing up.
That's it.
That's it.
Let's make some memories. So when we're all standing up against the wall, and Kabe is striping up people or whatever, we all get to share cool stories.
Yeah, absolutely.
Love it, dude. Well, thanks again for coming out tonight, dude.
Thanks for having me.
bringing Keely and Nancy out there.
Yeah, thank you.
And we'll gonna see you tomorrow morning.
Yeah, I'll be here tomorrow morning.
Perfect.
I won't. I'm not gonna be rolling, but I'll definitely, do some.
You and
drills.
Dana can coach
Yeah.
on the live rounds while you're healing.
Yep.
All right, baby. Well, thanks for coming in, and
Thank you, guys.
love you, man.
Yeah,
We'll
love you
see you
much.
bright and early.
Thank you.
All right, thanks for listening, everybody. Have a good night.
Peace.
Oh, that was hot.
It might have been the longest one.
Was it?
That was a long one.
I was like, am I?